Hello, Stint 2. I'm here. I'll be bringing the glorious Jaeger back into the chat in a moment. Let's get the transition up and running, shall we? There we go. That's where we're at. So Stint 1, you can see there, running on the left-hand side of the screen. That's what we're currently at, lap 47 there. Not much going on in this lobby at the moment. So it will stay as it is for the time being. I'm just going to go and get my coffee out of the microwave because I'll let it get cold. Back shortly.
Already 2.5 seconds clear. Strook and Toto, they will be battling. As long as Toto Wolff can stay in Strook slipstream. But then again, Toto Wolff, he clipped that wall on the exit of Frost Elbow, he will be losing that slipstream most likely. And there's also Mazda now coming. 2.5 seconds the gap, so don't think Toto Wolff's position is safe. But it looks Struck opening up that gap. Sneaking out of that slipstream would be vital for Struck to give himself a little bit of a breather. Sliding it through the final turn. So Toto with a big slide, but then loses some speed on the exit. So Struck think he has that gap to Toto now. Toto with the damage, not able to keep up with Struck, and here's Mazda in P7. He will be having the run now.
So what happened to... I'm back, by the way. What happened to Jack?
The mountain.
So we have just one driver on the circuit that hasn't crashed.
Yeah, as a read, yeah. So we are Jack and coming downwards into the SS. The car just went left when you should have turned right, and then had massive damage front and rear end.
Ooh.
Oof, yeah, big oof.
So no pressure on the Portuguese driver then to keep it out of a wall.
Nope.
I tell you, that's a fantastic performance from ORT to be where they are at this stage.
Totally, yeah. So everyone was like when they saw the BOP update with the nerf again for that Mazda, for that McLaren, not Mazda. Having Mazda in my mind because I'm watching this battle. So yeah, the McLaren got added a little bit of weight again, I think. So we're like, oh, not again. But yeah, great drive for ORT.
So we'll see in a minute where the Sector 7 team will be, whether the punishment is carrying over into this second stint. We're looking at who's driving. So we've got Kings coming up in the 650S for ORT. And we know Kings is very, very capable driver. Jakey coming in for ERA in the RCF. Clarkey coming in for Nick. We know Clarkey's capable of a lap or two. Interesting though, we've got Sharkey for Sector 7. Sharkey is one of the quickest drivers I've seen, certainly in my time in Gran Turismo, and he's still only, I think, 18, 19 years old. So basically, I've been playing Gran Turismo longer than he's been alive, and he's still quicker than most people I've ever seen. The one thing I will say about Sharky, though, he is prone to an error or two. He'll do the fastest lap and follow that up with a spin. So it's going to be about consistency for him. It'd be interesting to see where they start. Zero coming in for the other Sector 7 car for Monkey Man Macho. Newton coming in for Black Flag. Who else we got? We've got Super Vedu for MRL. The Ghost coming in for Vortex. Brohawk in for Apex Hunters, a fellow broadcaster, who straight off the back of this is going to drive for 6 hours to go and pick up a dog.
What a day.
Yeah, what a day. 2 hours around the mountain and then 6 hours across America to pick up a dog. It's like the perfect day, isn't it? He better actually be picking up a dog. He better be putting pictures on Discord, because he should have been. We wanted him to broadcast, and the reason he's not is because he's picking up the dog. Bish is in for the Mustang MRL. The Furious 2 is in the Sexy Rexy. Who we got? We got Simin, who was very quick in qualifying yesterday.
Yeah.
In the Corvette for the other Race Asylum team.
No, Simon is Syndicate Racing.
Syndicate Racing, sorry, yes, Syndicate Racing. Sorry.
And Camp with damage again. That I don't know how many times Camp now pit. He's a lap down, definitely. But I also saw Jack has some damage again now. So and just 7.6 seconds to Nick in P4. So Jack in P3, Nick P4. with 6 laps to go.
So looking very, very
7
spicy.
seconds. Nick could get that P3.
So you can see there
Nick
we're about to
improved
get
the fastest
underway.
lap. It's a 59.8. And also one hell of a performance by Struck so far for the Vortex team.
Oh, absolutely. It's a fantastic performance.
That car in P5, starting, I don't know, P9, P10?
Yeah,
something about that?
It's been a very, very consistent performance, which I think has been absolute paramount.
Oh, Ponyboy in the chat. Good morning. Hello.
Pony, of course, coming up after me in stint 3. We need to all chip in and get Ponyboy a laptop and a video card, so he can join us with all the prettiness.
Yeah. GoFundMe/Pony needs a laptop.
Yeah.
We see the gap coming down between Jack and Nick, 6.6 seconds. We have 5 laps of racing left before the driver swap. So this could get close between Jack and Nick.
Certainly could do, yeah. Certainly could do.
Struck keeps that gap to Mazda, 4.5 seconds-ish. And it will be sorted, Pony. That's good to hear. Oh, Toto in P7, he's staying out with the damage. He has 16 seconds to Blue Racer in P8. I think this should be enough to stay ahead of Race Asylum. And 20 seconds to Pestina, who is driving for MRL in that McLaren. And Black Flag with Kaizen in P10.
It's a couple of place improvement
Rex.
from 12th on the grid.
Yep. Definitely finalized with last minute racing, the Rexy. P11. Then Mustang, MRL, team number 2, East, P12, and Camp at the back in P13. So that's first to last challenge completed, unfortunately.
Yeah, bit of a day to forget for
them.
Kemp.
Definitely not his best stint.
No. And I wonder if he has another stint planned, if he can get back into the right headspace for it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he is scheduled to do another stint for Syndicate. I think they have a big driver lineup ready.
So the cars this end all filing into the pits, ready for their handover. Of course, we'll stay on with Kings because he will be the first. Well, assuming nothing changes in the next 5 laps over at your side, but we'll.
Assuming, yeah. As so far, Team ORT, they're without any mistakes. 30 seconds up the road. Yeah, that's an impressive opening stint with Azarian.
Right, I've just been informed from Hide that the rest of the stints will be other drivers. So he doesn't have to try and get himself back into the right headspace, which I suppose is good. It would be so difficult after such a poor session to kind of switch yourself back on, wouldn't it?
Could go either way. I mean, if you cannot like prove it again the race, it also might be difficult then to cope with. But on the other hand, if you know, like, it's not your day, maybe that it's better to not go out on track.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that gap between Jack and Nick, 4 seconds.
So Nick potentially could rescue a top 3, despite not having the greatest of sessions.
Position, definitely. Just looking at the delta to P1, that's 48 seconds. That is a big ask for the rest of this event to basically gain 50 seconds throughout the next 10 hours.
Yes, it's a lot to do. So he's lost obviously that thing that with Mazda cost him all of that time. He managed to stick that 36 seconds for pretty much the whole race, and then the thing with Mazda kind of threw a spanner in the works.
So yeah, without that, he would be closer to Macho Monkey P2, definitely. Sort of.
Yeah, very good stint from Macho Monkey as well. With considering that he himself has had his foray with the wall a few times.
That's true. We have plenty of great comeback drives in this stint already, with Macho Monkey, with Nick, of course. Also, with I wouldn't call it a comeback drive, but with Struck, they're running in P5 for Vortex, definitely.
It's been very solid
for driver of the stint. Yeah,
it's been very solid, very professional drive from Struck. Just doing what he needed to do, keeping the car in the right place, and setting up nicely for future stints. So yeah, I think I would go with you for driver of the day. I think he's the first driver of the stint because he's done a really solid job in there. And he's battled quite a lot. He spent a lot of time battling as well with Toto Wolff, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. That is, yeah. So we see now the fuel is low for most of the car. So we are on lap 59. Lap 60 will be the in lap. So I think everyone should be fine to make it around. But still, every time I'm a little bit like, oop, that fuel is not looking good anymore. And then, but I'm pretty sure they have all tested it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Multiple times.
They'll know that they'll have it down to the milliliter. They'll be running down to the final corner on fumes.
It is so 3 seconds the gap between Jack and Nick, with 1.5 laps to go. It looks like Jack will be keeping that P3 just about. And Struck under pressure, Mazda just 1.7 seconds behind, so Mazda definitely closed that gap a little bit. Toto in P7 at the moment, 11-12 seconds, something about that. Behind Mazda, Blue Racer is catching, so Toto Wolff running with the damage, of course, till the end.
So it's going to be a very long wait for Simin in the Syndicate racing car. For his teammate to come home at the moment.
Yes, 3 minutes and 6 seconds at the moment.
Especially after the work he did yesterday in qualifying.
Yeah. All right, so we have Azarine now starting the final lap of the stint. It is, and we'll have a look at Nick and Jack, 2.2 seconds.
So we're going to have a battle from the outset, really. I mean, even if Nick doesn't get it done now, they're still going to be pretty close together when they come out of the pits here for stint 2.
Yep. We'll do so. Wow. Look at that. I think that the driver swap thing would work. You see something running on my preview mode.
It's working at this end. The only problem we've got is there's a slight delay between the two, which I haven't worked out how to, unless I delay the whole broadcast. I don't quite know how I'm going to sort that, but I'll come up with a solution eventually.
Oh dear. So I'm running now this thing side by side window. Let's go. So we see Azorian now coming down the comrade for the final time, and we see on the right hand side and here we go, Azorian into the pits.
So that'll be
At
Kings
least
coming out soon.
This leaves us with yeah, Ost. it's not really my stream, it's still Black Flag Racing TV, but I was your commentator for the first stint alongside with UrbanPyrate, of course. He's now taking over.
There we go. So that's Kings out on track this end. Next up will be who's second? I've forgotten. Oh, it's Monkey Man. So that will be
check into the pits, followed by Nick. I think Nick ran out of fuel. I'm not sure. He lost a little bit of time.
Yeah, no, it won't be. It'll be trying to find. Oh, there we go. Zero. Be Zero coming out next, and here we go. Zero out onto the track. The gap 37.6 seconds. So quite a lot of work for Zero to do to catch Overboost Racing Team. Brohawk is out, only 4.8, and Clarkey is out, just 3.9. So there's a potential battle on the cards for second, pretty much a couple of laps in.
So we have 8 drivers now completed their driver swap. And Pestina will be the next one, heading into the pits.
There's another one that had a bad race, Pestina. He was there or thereabouts early on, wasn't he?
Yeah. Kaizen missed the pit entry. That's not
shit.
good.
No,
that's not good.
That's not at
That
all.
is not good. That's not how it's supposed to be. So this. What to do now?
He's going to have to pull up, and then, yeah. Well, if he's gone past it.
But how to judge when you would arrive at your pit crew? No.
No, that's not good.
Unlucky. We also have Azorian and Macho Monkey on the track already. Ideally they should be waiting for everyone to be into the pits. So last car on track, that's SRL with Camp coming through the chase, and into the pits we go. Oh no, he messed up the pit entry as well, so I think this sums up his stint, unfortunately.
No, it didn't go well, so the place is lost.
Kaizen is still running, so it is panic mode.
Yeah, massive
all the time.
panic.
So drivers can now leave the pits, so probably that's my call.
Yeah, they should be coming out now. So, out in front, let's have a little look. So Kings is still 38 seconds clear. Zero in second. 3.3 to Brohawk. Clarkey 3.6 behind. Then we've got Sharky. So, whatever penalties coming to the other Sector 7 team has not been served as yet, because Sharky's out in 5th. So I'm assuming then it's going to be applied at the end of the race rather than throughout the stints. Ghost there running in 6th position with Keplero for Moosehead Racing. He's in 7th, 9 seconds back, 8.7 to Tonic. And we've got Jakey, 43 seconds back. So quite a bit of work to do in that Lexus for Jakey. Super Vedu in that other McLaren, currently back in 10th with the Furious 2. There's only one of him, but the Furious 2 is all over the back of Super Vedu, putting him under extreme pressure in these early stages of stint number 2. If you are just joining us and you missed us from stint number 1, this is the GT Endurance Championship 2024. We're at round number 3. This is Bathurst, and we are into hour number 3 of this 12-hour extravaganza of GT racing. 24 seconds to Bish running in 12th position in that Mustang. Simin, who did such a great job yesterday in qualifying to get that car on pole, has taken over from his teammate in 13th position after a terrible race for his teammate from pole position. And Newton, after a mix-up with the handover, Newton for Black Flag losing 4 places. Kaizen did a great job to get him up to 10th from 12th on the grid, but all gone horribly wrong already, and he's down to 14th. So Bish is in for, I think he's in for Lucas. No, he's not in for Lucas. Who was it? It was Lucas who got disconnected, wasn't it? So where is... he should be a lap down, surely, shouldn't he? Confused.
It should be, yeah.
So he shouldn't be... It shouldn't be Newton last, but it is, strangely.
Yeah, I think we had also the problem for Black Flag racing with not
but Super Vedu, that's the other MRL car, and he's in 10th, ahead of the Furious 2 in Sexy Rexy, ahead of Bish for the other MRL car. So surely he shouldn't be ahead of their teammates. Very strange. But we are having some lapping going on. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, you're right, because we were. Yeah, that's right. Ignore me. They are a lap down, but they're a lap down on the leaders, not on the on the whole field. So we've got a few cars already starting to lap others. King's there still nearly 38 seconds clear over 0. There hasn't really been much change in that top 4 in terms of distance. They're opting to keep it very tidy in these early stages. Everybody on the soft compound tyre. I didn't imagine we'd see anybody coming out on the mediums. Quite surprised anyone's used the mediums at all, to be honest. But everyone's on those soft compound tyres. Excuse me. Where's my coffee? Need the caffeine to keep me going. At the moment, it's Sharky, currently running in 5th for Sector 7. With that fastest lap. He's just beaten his own fastest lap with a 2:01.1. So his intentions are very clear. He intends to close that gap on that top 4 and start to make some inroads into getting onto the podium and negating any penalty that may come their way for the shenanigans in the formation lap in stint 1. Vortex still running very well there in 6th position, just 4.2 seconds behind Sharky as it stands, and looking pretty steady at the moment in terms of pace. Yeah, it's going to be it's crazy his pace, absolutely crazy Sharky's pace. I was saying to earlier, Lucas, that his pace is just it's going to be there or thereabouts. He'll put in fast lap after fast lap after fast lap. The one thing we do know about Sharky is that occasionally, though, he has that one little brain fart and something can go horribly wrong. And let's face it, everybody in stint 1 had a foray with the wall, except for the Overboost Racing team. They managed to go completely unscathed through an entire stint. So it's very possible we're going to see some damage at some point. At the moment, though, everything very, very clean. Very clean. Zero not making any inroads on Kings as it stands. Well, we had a little bit, 4/10, but nothing significant. The gap's still a massive 38 seconds, which, considering how close stint 1 was for such a long time, is a surprise. We've kind of expected the front two to be pretty close together coming out here. Oh yeah, that's true, but you weren't on the racetrack long enough to hit the wall. You just punched a hole in it after you got disconnected. So Brohawk there has closed on Zero a little bit with a 2.6 seconds the gap now. So it is coming down. Clarkey catching Brohawk, Brohawk catching Zero. That's going to be the battle for second on the racetrack. Sharky, we know, is catching Clarkey as he's the fastest man on the track at the moment, but the gap is almost 16 seconds at the moment, so no battle going on there. Nothing between the Ghost for Vortex in 6th and Keplero for Moosehead Racing in 7th. 6.3 separating the Dutchman and the Italian as it stands. 14 seconds back to Tonic, the Irishman, in that McLaren that we fully expected to see much further up the field. But the chase is on. Jakey in 9th place, 38 seconds back in that gorgeous Lexus. 17 seconds to the Furious 2, although there is only one of them in the car, and I'm going to make that joke several times until it stops being funny. Super Venue in the MRL McLaren, running in 11th place, 3.3 seconds behind the Furious 2, with a 21-second advantage over his teammate Bish in the other MRL car. Simin is in 13th. A lot of work for Simin to do, and he is not too far behind pace, or the pace of Sharky at the moment, but after a very, very bad stint 1 for the Syndicate Racing team, Simon's got some work to do to close that 3-minute gap, to the leaders. Newton back in 14th after a massive mix-up with the handover at the end of stint 1. Kaiser missing the pit entrance at the end of lap 60 and missing that handover, which meant Newton has lost, Black Flag have lost 4 places going into stint 2. But plenty of racing to do and plenty of time to make that back up. So no change out in front as we see Kings making his way around some slower moving traffic. They're not necessarily slower moving, but they are a lap behind as it stands. Zero there running in second. The gap, though, we can see there that Clarkey was catching Brohawk, who was catching Zero, but the gap's opened up a little bit. Clarkey not quite doing everything he needs to catch Brohawk, but Brohawk is absolutely got the hammer down. He's at just 1.5 seconds now behind Zero, and of course for a long time Jack, so it is, in that Corvette led this race before the Overboost team managed to capitalise on an uncharacteristic error from Jack, which led them to dropping down a couple of places. But we can see now that Brohawk getting the job done at the moment and closing at a rapid rate on the back of Zero. We go on board here and we can see just how close he is now to the back of that AMG GT3 in those Sector 7 colours. This is lap 7 of, I know it's 61, but it is 60 laps here at Bathurst. I'll be with you for the next hour and a bit more, 2 hours, two and a bit hours. And then Ponyboy will come in and give you all the facts and figures and show you how a professional broadcast should be done. But there we go, yeah. Yeah, the problem is, because there's no way to calculate the time to the pit. Well, there is a way, but you need to know it before. You need to work out during the race, but there's no way really to calculate the move to the pit box. Newton missing the pit entrance at lap 60 meant that Yeah, it's one of those things. So Newton's got a bit of work to do, essentially. So Kaizan missing the pit box, not Newton. Which means there's a bit of work to do now. That's why we post up the rules so everyone knows what's occurring. Anyway, moving swiftly on. We're watching Brohawk chasing down Zero for a place in the top 2 to get that Apex Hunter team back in the chase down. No, you can't go in at that 59 to compensate. At the end of the day, the error was made. The error is there. You can't. It's not. It wouldn't be fair if that error was made as it was. Right, so Brohawk is trying to find his way past Zero, but Zero now, although the gap's down to 0.8 of a second, he is starting to respond to the pressure behind from Brohawk and not allowing him to close that gap as he would like. And sort of, he would love to get that Apex Hunter team back in the top 2 and be chasing down Kings in the lead of this race. Talking of Kings, still 38 seconds. He's actually put another half second on, 38.5 seconds clear as it stands. There he is, tucked up behind the Lexus. That's a Race Asylum Lexus. Yeah, the Race Asylum Lexus. Is at the moment coming through the match. He's on lap 9. Zero also on lap 9. He's got Brohawk all up in his business as they head up the hill towards the mountain. Clarkey 2.8 seconds back in 4th. He can just see, just up ahead, we can see here, that's the battle for second up ahead. He'll want that battle to rage on for a little bit longer, just to allow himself to close up because they're battling. No, I understand what you're saying, TJ, but it is quite clear you go in the lap before. Otherwise, if you ran to the last lap, then the lobby would end before everybody came through, which is why it's done like that. You know, it's not the first time we've run in this format. Is what it is. It is what it is. It's disappointing, but it is what it is. You know, at the end of the day, there'll be. I would be very surprised if we don't have other issues throughout. And remember, there is a. I would imagine significant penalty coming to Sector 7 for Mazda overtaking during the formation lap as well. Sharky has closed that gap down to Clarkey. Sharky and Clarkey. 12.7 seconds now. You would expect he knows his track pretty well, Australian driver. He would have this down to close out on Sharky. And to be fair, he's already in that 2-minute point 7. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Lucas. It is pretty chaotic behind the scenes on a regular basis. Well, that's a yellow flag. Who is crashing? That is Tonic, facing in the wrong direction. Can he get that turn around in time before anybody catches up to him? There are cars coming thick and fast. Tonic in the mountain, facing absolutely all over the place, wrong place. This is going to cost him so much time. Here comes Jakey. There's 34 seconds back, so he's not actually going to catch him. But there is who's that behind that's catching? Let's have a look. It's going to be there. It's Newton. Who is going to get stuck behind him. He's a lap down on that car at the moment, so he'll want to clear him as quickly as possible because there'll be some significant damage on Tonic's car. Well, it's not actually. He's got away with it. He's managed to get that turned round and nothing. So let's have a look. Zero and Brohawk had a coming together while we were watching the backwardsness, and Brohawk has come the better off of that. He's up into second. Zero's had to go in and repair the damage, drops him down to 7th. That's a big loss for the Sector 7 team. Monkey doing such a good job to get them back up into second after crashing the car early doors and having to kind of work his way through the field. But Zero down to 7th now after repairing that damage. Not all doom and gloom. 30 minutes in, so he's given him a chance to top up the fuel, put on some fresh tyres. It will change the pit strategy a little bit, but he's not down and out yet. A minute behind the leaders, but everyone ahead of him will be pitting long before he needs to again. There's a good battle going on there. This is the battle for 5th position. You've got Ghost for Vortex just up ahead of Keplero for the Moosehead Racing team. And you can see he's already closing on the back. He's got that slipstream on this Conrod straight as they head down towards the chase in that hotel section. He's not quite close enough to make the move here, but wants to stay tucked in under the wing of that Porsche 911 and have a little go maybe up the mountain. So it's all about, it's going to be very important for Ghost to get the exits right, both here on the final corner and on turn 1, to keep Keplero at bay. The AMG we know is very, very strong, particularly in a straight line. Not quite as strong as we've seen the Corvettes being, but the drivers of the Corvettes have struggled to keep the car out of walls today. So here we go, good exit for Keplero. He's in the slipstream again. Don't think again he's going to be close enough into turn 2. And you can see there, just Ghost just moving across the racetrack just to break that toe, even if it is just for a fraction of a second, as Keplero with a purple first sector here at Bathurst. Round 2, the cutting we go. No real opportunity. We did actually see Nick attempt an incredibly bold move round the outside. Excuse me. On in that first stint, which did not fare too well in the end. Both him and Mazda ended up with damage through the mountain after that. So Keplero winding up now. This time, if he can keep this pace up, can keep within this 0.3 of a second, we should see an overtake on the Conrod Straight and the Moosehead Racing team moving up into that top 5. We know that's where the 911 struggles the most. It's that top end of the speed. So great exit out of here is necessary for both of them. And here we go. Blue Racer, how you doing, man? Bet you're knackered. He didn't get a good exit, Keplero again. So not able to get this move done. The battle's still raging on. Zero back in 7th, as we know. There's Tonic recovered from his spin. He's in 8th. He's got clear air either side. 25 seconds to the Sector 7 driver up ahead, and 13 seconds back to Jakey running in that Lexus. 25 seconds to the Furious 2. He's 10 ahead of Super Vedu. 17 clear of Bish, technically his teammate. It is 51 seconds from Simin to Newton. Has Newton had a problem somewhere? Well, he's actually he's a lap down, of course, because of the that'll be because of the previous issue with the pit entry. So Simin there in 13th place. He's got some work to do. He's put in the fastest lap of the race so far, taking that from Sharky. So he's clearly got the pace, but being nearly 3 minutes off the lead after 2 hours, they've got some work to do to close that gap. Brohawk into 3rd. Clarkey has moved his way. I don't know how he managed that. It was an astounding feat of brilliance to not damage the car. Clarkey has got past Brohawk, although Brohawk's still in that slipstream. So we can see that Clarkey's putting the hammer down and trying to repair the damage of stint 1 after Nick crashed relatively early on in that first stint. Clarkey will want to be closing that gap on Kings, although it's opening up at the moment. So he's put another 2 seconds on to that. Yeah, no, he's got a lovely buffer around him at the moment. It is head down time and stay out of the walls. Excuse me. We've had significantly less crashes at this stage of stint 2 than we had by this stage in stint 1. So I suppose that's a good thing. I think people are learning lessons from just the overdriving. It's the excitement, isn't it? First stint out, big 12-hour race, get all excited and then lose control of your car. I do that on a regular. I'm just happy to be here most of the time. Brohawk struggling to stick with the pace of Clarkey. Clarkey just started to edge away now from the Apex Hunter driver, Brohawk, who is actually American but using his UK account for this purpose, for whatever reason that may be. Sharky had the fastest lap for a while until Simin came in and said, thank you very much, that belongs to me. He has closed that gap now to 7.8 seconds. He's absolutely rapid, Blue, absolutely rapid already. He's pulling away from Newton at the back there, and he's going to be scything his way through the field. It won't be long before we see that happening. We'll have a look actually where he is now in terms of pace. He's there in 13th at the moment. That gap to Bish is getting smaller and smaller and smaller on a rapid basis, and he's very consistent as well. He's put in the fastest lap of the race, that 2-minute 0.5, but he's sticking around that. Look at that. I mean, that grouping there, the last 2 laps with a 6:07 and 6:05, 2 1,000ths difference between those 2 laps. He has got some consistent pace going in, and we know, of course, he put this car on pole yesterday, so he's trying to repair the damage from stint number 1. But no reason why over the course of the next 9.5 hours that this can't be put back into that top 3 potentially. A lot of quick drivers to come. A lot of quick drivers on the racetrack now to contend with. But it is what it is. Get spamming on that like button, folks, and the share button and all that palaver. Just let the world know that you're happy with what you're seeing, and yeah, and we'll get YouTube to get loads of other people watching it as well, which would be nice. Battle in that midfield. Let's have a little look what's going on in that midfield. So Zero back in 7th. He's got some work to do to catch the Ghost. Keplero now passed him up into 5th position. He did finally get that move done on Ghost, running in 6th in that 911. Not sticking with Keplero either. Keplero is starting just to edge away from the Dutch driver for the Vortex Racing team. The gap to Zero, who we know is quick, is 9 seconds. And we know that Zero, it just goes to show that it's just one little error can make all the difference to your race. You know, you clip a wall, you clip another driver, and it's so easy to do here at Bathurst. It's so easy over the course of 2 hours to lose that concentration, and and it only takes the slightest of errors somewhere for this to happen. We've seen Tonic facing in the wrong direction. Not anymore. He's starting to find his pace again. He lost 20 seconds on that lap 9 when he was facing in the wrong way, but somehow managed to avoid any damage, which is obviously good for the Irish. I'm assuming he's Irish, being that he's got an Irish flag right there. But then saying that, Brohawk has got a British flag, and I know for a fact that he's not British. There is Jakey, who is in those mid to low 201s quite significantly. So he is closing on Tonic there in 8th position, putting away from the Furious 2 in that 911, the Rexy 911. I love that livery. My favourite livery of all the liveries. Everyone else changes their livery from race to race. These guys just stick with that same one. Absolutely love it. It's a thing of beauty. So King still leads the way. The gap is still 40 seconds. He is relatively consistent. Hasn't set the world on fire in terms of fastest lap, but didn't need to. His teammate didn't need to in the first stint either. Brohawk back up behind Clarkey. So this battle's still raging on. It's not done. Clarkey got past Brohawk up into 2nd, but you can see there that he has no intention of letting it stay that way. And they've got a back marker there, which is going to interfere a little bit as they go through the mountain. Of course, the onus is on the faster driver to find a way through, and you know the lapped driver to be sensible. But through the mountain, it's just, if you get caught up behind someone through the mountain, it's just one of those things. It's so difficult to get through, and you shouldn't be expected to put your car into a wall. But they'll go past him now on Conrod, I would imagine. Clarkey going to be safe from Brohawk because he's got that slipstream from that back marker. Here comes Brohawk through now as well, but not able to do anything on the back of Clarkey this time around, but sticking with him. So let's have a good little shifty at tyre wear thus far for these front three. Was that Clarkey just going sideways? It certainly looked like it. Just stuff flicked off of him. It looked like he was going sideways. So Brohawk is there, right? So the tyre-wise, all looking very, very similar in terms of wear. Nothing really to separate them in terms of that. With Sharky there, again, very similar for him. So not really any advantage one over the other. Sharky now only 5.2 seconds off that battle for second position. So hold fast, my friends, because Sharky's coming through for this battle. It's almost like he's taken the mantle from his teammate. Zero was up in second, had a little coming together with Clarkey, I believe, and that cost him a bit of time. So Sharky now picking up that mantle and trying to get back into the top three for Sector 7. He's having some flags waved at him at the moment, though. Not quite sure why he's getting flags waved at him. He's on lap 16. I don't think they're for him. They can't be for him. They'll be for a car up ahead of him. I would have thought. I can't imagine. No, they can't be for Sharky. So there's Brohawk just around the corner. You can see Brohawk there. He is still right up behind Clarkey. It's Clarkey, Brohawk, Sharky. Out onto the Conrod they go. Round comes Sharky. He is getting ever closer to this battle for second. Clarkey's got a significant gap over Brohawk coming out of there. So Brohawk not quite close enough to make a move again. It looks like Clarkey's managing that quite well, actually. He's ensuring that Brohawk just stays out of reach when it's really important. He's quite happy for Brohawk to get up behind him and tucked him when they're in an area of the racetrack he can't overtake, but has no intention of leaving such a small distance between them when the slipstream is at play. And of course this battling will only serve to benefit Kings and Sharky, of course. Capilero in 5th, the Ghost in 6th position as it stands with Zero honing in 4.5 seconds behind the Ghost now, trying to repair the damage of earlier, but he's on a different strategy, of course, now, having gone into the pits and done his repairs and changed out his tyres, so he'll be running a bit longer than everybody else. We imagine the pit windows, and there's damage there on the Ghost as well, so that will be why he's closing as quickly as he is. He crosses the line there. How much time did that cost him last time out? Not a significant amount, actually. I think he might be carrying it from lap 12 by the looks of things. So he's decided to stick with that damage. Right, let's have a little looky-see. So Simon is ahead now of Bish. For MRL, he's got 7.1 seconds. His next target up the road. That's Super Vedu. He's not an ordinary Vedu. He's Super Vedu, running for the MRL team that unfortunately got disconnected with Lucas behind the wheel. They were doing so well as well in that first stint. Bish 5.1 seconds behind Simon already, with Newton struggling a little bit. His pace is not all that bad, but obviously some way back because of the confusion with the handover. So a little bit of work for Newton to do. It's a bit about damage. It's about damage limitation at the moment for Black Flag now because of that mix-up. But I'm sure something will happen soon. Okay, so the first of the real pit stops, and that's the Furious 2. Now he's in a lot earlier than the tyres and fuel suggest he should be. It's genuinely considered a two-stop. Lap 20 would be your ideal pit window, but he's opted to come in quite early. Now, is that a track position situation? He's ahead of Super Vedu, and they're racing for track position. Super Vedu obviously with warmed up tyres and a lighter fuel load. So he may get that position taken, or he may take that position, should I say. But the Furious 2 will have a pit stop over him. But will he be in a position later to be struggling on tyres now? Yeah, it was stint one was of course Cal Stroke, but I think considering the shenanigans on lap 1, stint 1 and all that kind of thing, you did exceptionally well to finish where you did. So very consistent from you. And let's face it, you were, other than Lucas got disconnected and the Overboost team, they are, what happened to Tonic? He was facing the wrong direction, Ost. That's what happened to Tonic. So he's, had to get himself back. I don't know what happened to him on lap 17. It looks like he lost quite a lot of time on lap 17. So it looks like he was facing the wrong direction yet again. Again, no damage though, so he's clearly quite good at screwing it in the dipper, but missing the walls, which I think is commendable. I would argue that's pretty commendable. The gap out front still very much the same, not much changing there. The Clarkey Brohawk Sharky battle. Well, Brohawk and Clarkey still separated by around half a second, which seems to flip, and they're both in that Corvette, so very similar in terms of car performance. Can you hear the dog crying in the background? Because my daughter's gone out. My daughter's got a doctor's appointment this afternoon that she's gone to, and her dog is sitting on the couch crying because she's gone out. Soft little bitch. Right, so yeah, Sharky's closed that gap now to 3.1 seconds, so eating into them. I would imagine a couple of laps after the pit window, and I think the pit window is going to be quite key here in terms of do any of these under fuel, do some not fuel at all in this next pit stop, because it's around just over half a tank of fuel for every 20 laps here, assuming you don't pit for other reasons. So you essentially only really need to fill up once. Do you do it in two little splashes, or do you empty your tank and then fill up at the second stop? Or alternatively, do you do fill to full in your first stop? I suppose it depends how long into the race you go. If the further past lap 20 you can take your first stint, the better your tyres are going to be at the end of this race. And I think that's one of the key things for these guys to do. Now you can see there that these tyres are lasting very, very well in these conditions. That's King's still in the lead, but the gap comes down a bit. He didn't have a great lap, lap 19. Lost 3 seconds of time. How you doing, Nick? Yeah, it was. I think it was tough for everybody. I think quite a few people struggled in stint 1. Everybody apart from these guys. Overboost, absolutely on the money at the moment. So, Brohawk now just dropped off the pace a little bit, not finding that half a second gap there anymore to Clarkey. Now, the danger here, of course, is that this now allows Clarkey, who's not now giving up the toe to Brohawk, it allows Clarkey just to start edging away, and it'll allow Sharky to close up to Brohawk, and that's absolutely going to play into Clarkey's hands. He'll want that no end. He'll want Sharky to be closing on Brohawk because it keeps him off his back and allows him just to start building a gap. It's a very, very solid battle for the top 4 at the moment. I'm going to have to pick this dog up and stroke it in a minute, and what I want to do is squeeze it and make it squeak for me like one of those rubber chickens. Come here. Oh, hang on. There you go, picked him up. You can shut up now. Right. Help me do the buttons, dog. So King's still leading away 36 seconds. He's into the pits. Bang on lap 20. That's bang on strategy. What's Clarkey going to do? Is Clarkey going to stay out? There's still plenty of tyre left there. And I think there is some benefit to running a little bit longer while the going is good. While you've got the rhythm, while you've got the car underneath you, while you've got the tyres, there is no reason really to start diving into the pits bang on the pit window. Stretch it out a little bit. You can stretch out your first and second stint. You can have much better tyres going into stint 3. But Clarkey opts to go in. Brohawk, however, has other ideas, as has Sharky. Brohawk into the lead of this race. Will he be? Excuse me, no, he's not. King's out 18 seconds clear. King's opting to put a tiny little splash of fuel in. But Brohawk under significant pressure now from Sharky in that AMG. He's got him all over him going up the hill towards turn 2. Moves to the inside. Sharky breezes past like he's not even there. Into turn 2, gets it turned in and gets that job done. Let's have a look on board from Sharky's perspective. And you can see here just how easy once you get that toe it is. And Brohawk does exactly the right thing, just pulls over to that right hand side to let Sharky through. And bish bash bosh, job done. Moving swiftly on. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff's gone on, Slippy. It's been a very, very interesting race day. Every single car bar 2 crashed in stint 1. One of those that didn't crash was disconnected. And yeah, it's just one of those things. It's been a funny day up on the mountain. People in positions we don't expect. There's penalties coming people's way. All sorts of stuff going on. And I've got this little whiny prick sitting on my lap now, still crying even though he's getting the attention he does not deserve. Do you? Do you want to tell everyone why you don't deserve it? Somebody chewed through the boys' internet wire in the garden the other day, and I had to pretend to Virgin Media that we had a rat problem so they wouldn't charge me loads and loads of money. There we go. Pastina, how you doing, man? Right. Clarkey down to 4th, was running in second for a time. He had put a little bit more fuel in than the others. So he's now 19 seconds behind Brohawk. Well, Brohawk now coming into the pits. So it'll be interesting to see where he slots and what that gap is. Sharky also will need to pit at some point, but he's just opted to stay out. I think Sharky's mandate now has got to be to try and open a gap from Clarkey before Clarkey gets up to speed. Capolero, he hasn't pit yet. He will be shortly next couple of laps. Zero is out of sync with everybody else. He had to pit after picking up some damage quite some time ago now, somewhere around lap 9, lap 10. So Zero back in 6th place, but he'll gain a few places as the cars ahead go into the pit, certainly when Capolero goes in. Jakey running in 7th position. He's 28 seconds behind Zero. Again, he's another one that pit out of sync, so he's got a little bit longer to go. The Ghost, he's on fresh tyres for Vortex. 32 seconds clear of Tonic, who has been spinning around the mountain and somehow avoiding any damage. I don't know how he did that. So Jakey in to the pits from 8th. There is Simmon. He's up to 10th now with that crazy pace he's been putting in. He's dropped into those mid to low 201s now. He's still going to have a couple more laps to put in. Yeah, a lot of work for him to do to get that team back up and running in that top 3. Got spawned the wrong way around, confused the heck out of him. Yeah. Well, I've got to put you down, Dom, because you're not sitting still. Go and play with the other dog. Right. Let's have a look at the back of the pack, because there is Newton, 47 seconds back. Mass confusion in the previous stint where the driver of stint 1 went around an extra lap rather than diving into the pits at the end of lap 60. Super Vedu is in 13th place. I think they've both been into the pits, so it is a straight race between those two. Knudsen a little bit quicker in terms of single lap pace, so I could imagine him actually closing that gap relatively quickly. Bish, you son of a bish, in that Mustang, 2.2 seconds clear of Super Vedu. May well see his teammate, his MRL teammate, closing up on him pretty soon. Furious 2 in the Sexy Rexy 911, 3.7 behind Simin. He's not going to catch a nose. Simin is just absolutely on fire at the moment. 20 seconds is his next target. That's Tonic up ahead, although he's going to have to pit at some point. I reckon probably in the next 2 or 3 laps. So that will obviously bring the Furious 2 back in. I think he'll still be ahead of Bish, though. Still some work for him to do. Tonic's been in and back out. Jakey back out. The Ghost is for Vortex is out. Capilero getting some blue flags waved in his direction in that AMG. He's 10 seconds behind Zero, who's also in the AMG, but that's the one of Sector 7. So a couple of places gained back for Zero. And he's obviously out of the pit sync with everything else. Brohawk down to 4th. He was mixing in that top 3. Clarkey comes out ahead of Sharky. Clarkey and Sharky. Yeah, today you're right. The Bathurst things. That's the only way to describe what went on in stint 1. Well, most of what went on in stint 1. It's just Bathurst, isn't it? Sharky there in 3rd. Good run from him thus far. Picked up the mantle from Zero. Zero was given a great position starting in 2nd by Monkey Man Macho from that first stint. Sharky takes up the car from Mazda and immediately puts it up into the top 3. Has had the fastest lap, but not since Simin, the guy who put this car on pole yesterday, has found his rhythm, and Sharky, although Sharky going purple, so possibly sticking another fastest lap. Capilero into the pits from 6th position. That is to repair damage. He had already been in. He's had a little smash of Rooney. That's going to allow the Ghost to move up. Jakey is a bit too far back to capitalise though. Here comes the Ghost now for Vortex. He'll move up into 6th. So Capilero will come out behind Jail Willie. This is going to be really, really close. Capilero just comes out ahead of the Ghost. The gap's significantly smaller than it was previously, though. King's 35 seconds. The gap is shrinking, but very, very slowly. 35 seconds. The gap. It was 38 seconds. Clarkey doing everything in his power to close up the gap. That's a personal best for Kings there. We wanted to see if Sharky beats that lap. I think I've missed the timing line, haven't I? No, he's up on his own personal, but he's no longer purple. Unless he can find a bit of time over the next, last corner, essentially. 3 corners is the difference. He's 1.6 behind Clarkey, so he's sticking with him. He's still got that pace, and they're matching it at the moment. Brohawk not too far behind with 3.2 seconds. Sharky not able to steal that fastest lap as yet. We are yet to see a 1:59. The last time we saw that was from Nick in stint 1. He then followed that up with Crash, and it put a little bit of a damper on his race, knocking him down the order a little bit. But Clarkey doing his best to repair that damage, currently running in 2nd with a 2:01 on the money as his fastest lap. This is stint number 2 of this round 3 of the GT Endurance Championship 2024. Coming up after me, we've got the great Pony Boy for a 2-hour stint. That'll be followed by I think it's Jaeger up for stint number 4. I'll probably join him on comms for that because I'll be hosting stint number 4. Stint 5 will be Corentis, and then I'll be back to broadcast the final stint of the race, of course, with my brother from another mother by my side for that one. Will we see the Overboost Racing team still in the lead at that stage? Who knows? 35 seconds is the current benefit to them, and I think it's going to be about consolidation for them. You don't want to, at this stage, you don't want to take risks and over push this car with a view to try and open up the gap too much. You want to just consolidate. You want to keep the car on the road. You know, if you can put in a fastest lap, great, but don't risk your position. They're the only team to have not crashed in the mountain yet. And I know when the question was going to go, oh, commentators curse. No, there's no such thing as a commentators curse. It's commentators foresight. That's what I like to think. It is what it is. If they're going to crash, they're going to crash. But obviously, it would be an amazing thing to see if a team make it all the way through Bathurst without a brush with the wall. Clarkey has still got Sharky for Camponi, and Sharky again. Purple in sector 1, so it seems that he certainly got the measure of the fastest lap through that first sector, but not able to sustain it through sectors 2 and 3. They are starting now just to edge away from Brohawk, which means Brohawk's in a little bit of a kind of a relaxed position. The car's ahead 4 seconds down the road. He hasn't got to worry too much now about pushing up on the back of them. He's got 0.21 seconds away down the road, so no real worry from behind at this stage. He can just relax into the race a little bit. Yeah, he's not going to benefit from any tow, but he's also going to benefit from a nice clean racetrack to contend with, other than any back bar, because he comes across over the course of the next 40 or 30 odd laps. Are we almost at the halfway point? Bloody Nora. I hear you cry. Bloody Nora. Sharky about to show you the what for in these next few laps. I've no doubt about it at all. I think he's done a great job already to get him into the top 3. This stage of the race is going to be, particularly the middle stint for these drivers, is going to be about consolidating the position, closing a gap where you can. But I think lessons will be learned from all teams from stint number 1. Whatever pitfalls befell your team in stint number 1, I think you will you would have passed on the message. Don't do this. Don't crash here. Don't overdrive your car. I think that's the biggest message from stint 1. Well, no, there's 2 big messages. One is you don't go in on the last lap, you go on the lap before, and don't overdrive your car and push too hard, because the mountain will kill you. That's what it's there for. 5.6 seconds that goes to Capnero. The Ghost just cannot match the pace of the Italian up ahead in the Moosehead Racing GT3 AMG. Jakey in that Lexus, he's got Knudsen right up behind him. There is a lap difference, but Knudsen a little bit quicker actually. So this is always a difficult one when you're unlapping yourself from a car. So you catch a car ahead that's and he wasn't lapped on the racetrack. He was lapped due to the handover issues. But he's coming to unlap himself now because he is quicker. That'll help him with closing that gap on Super Vedu, which is it's already taken 20 seconds out of the gap to 13th position, which is an exceptional job to do, particularly when you start in such a demotivated position. And I know Ken's got quite a very capable driver and will do everything in his power to put his teammates I'm not sure who it is that's following him, in the best possible position for stint number 3. But he's the first thing he's got to do is he's got to get round. I think that's Jakey, who up ahead of him at the moment. Jakey's 15 seconds clear of Tonic, who is 21 clear of the Furious 2. He's 13 clear of Distinct Simon, who is the fastest man on the racetrack, or was, until Sharky did that to 20.287. But he's got, he's already taken about, it's over 3 minutes behind, so he's already taken 15 seconds out of the leader. He's got another whole bunch of 15 seconds to take out for 8, 9, 10, 11. He's got 11 15-second chunk. I can't believe I just counted out loud on my fingers like a child. He's got 11 15-second segments to take out. So if he gets one more done this race, that'll be half a second he's managed to claw back. Lots of work to do. So Sharky on Clarkey. Move has been done. It was coming. Clarkey got the job done and got ahead of him, but Sharky started to turn up the pressure, and he's now ahead of Clarkey as they head through the mountain. Now, the question of course, yeah, he's doing a really good job keeping focus, especially if you're put in a bit of a disadvantage. Although you say that, I mean, you can say the same actually for Simon, is that he put the car on pole. The guy that did the first stint had a really, really terrible time. Ended up pretty much plumb last, and he's coming and he's focusing and getting the job done. So, yeah, I think if you're put in a disadvantage, Slugsy, and you come into this and you get your head down, you get the job done. Absolutely credit to you to stay focused. Bro Hawk, he's still in that mix there. He's just kind of he flits between a 3.5 to 4 seconds behind the front 3, but absolutely brilliant place to be, because if anything happens up ahead with Clarkey and Sharky, or even King's up there, 34 seconds now, so the gap is starting to come down. Bro Hawk's in a brilliant position to mop that up and muscle his way through. Check stream team chat. I can do. Who's broken? Hang on. Right, let me have a quick look and see if I can fix that. I've got a little issue I've got to fix, folks. I will give me a sec. Talk amongst yourselves while I try and repair this. You've got permission to do so, so I can't see why. Let me go into... Right. Checking now, Pony. Bear with me. It's in there, that's one. You've got all the permissions you need. Let's have a look. Just checking I haven't had like a confirmation email. I should click something, but it says you've got all the permissions you need, Pony. I've got no emails or anything along those lines. Have you tried closing it down and reopening it? Let me do a reset myself on it this side as well. But you should have all the access you need. We're struggling to get Pony the access he needs to. Well, we're not struggling. I don't know why it's not working. Because the permissions are there. I can't find any reason why. Hold on. That's all working fine. You should be able to broadcast directly. There's no issue here. Listen, it's saying that you have full rights to broadcast. If you could pass that on for me, Nick. Just going to type in Discord, guys. I'll be back shortly. I'm still here. Just I can't multitask. Who else are we looking at? Where is there a battle? Sharky still ahead of Clarkey. Let me find you something to watch. Hang on, guys. Hold the line. Call up. Let's go with Clarkey on Sharky, shall we? Let's go on board with a bit of Clarkey. Right, oh my god, I've got messages galore all over the place. Right. Right, they're done. I'm back with you. So apologies for that, guys. Click like. Click it immediately. Have you done it? Why not? Get it done. There's your race leader. His name is Kings for the Overboost Racing Team. Absolutely solid performance for the first 3 hours of this 12-hour extravaganza for the Overboost Racing Team. So long sitting in second position, took the chance to take the lead when it was presented to them and haven't looked back since. Really started to open up the gap. I say open up the gap. Sharky is doing everything in his power to close that 38-second gap down for stint number 2. Interestingly, Sharky for Sector 7 wasn't the Sector 7 driver in second place when they came out at the beginning of this stint an hour ago. That was Zero, currently running in 5th position. Zero had a little coming together. He is about to have his first pit stop coming up in a couple of laps time, I imagine. Will he run it? The question is going to be whether he runs the fuel down and lets the tyres degrade beyond their useful life, or whether he just goes in when the tyres are done. He needs the idea. If he can get it to lap 40, that would be ideal for him, because we know that there is a 20 lap life on those tyres, there or thereabouts. He'll want to get as close as possible to that lap 40 window that he can. So if he can get past lap 35, lap 36, his tyres should take him to the end, and he will still run a two-stop strategy. Two-stop strategy, but albeit a slightly different one than he planned. But he is 30 seconds off Brohawk, who's still there or thereabouts with that top 3. And if we have a look on board, we'll go into the seat next to him, because I prefer that one. You can see just up ahead there, that's Clarkey running in 3rd. There is no real impetus for those front to pull away from Brohawk. They're not finding a way to ditch him, and he is doing absolute stellar job there in 4th, hanging on to that battle potentially for the top 3. Nick did let me know about Pony, if it's sorted or not. I will try and keep an eye on Discord. I'm also trying to keep an eye on this as well. Just going back to make sure there's nothing changed at my end. There is indeed not. The question really is then, can you let me know as soon as possible because we haven't got long to find another broadcaster to cover. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get someone lined up potentially. Anyway, that's a bit of a crock of shit, isn't it? Let's have a look at the back of the pack. How's Newton getting on with the battle to Furious 2 into the pits? Is that a damage? No, it's not. It looks like a scheduled stop, but yeah, a bit of he came in quite early before. It's very. I don't understand it, Pony, because it's got. Right, let's double check everything here. Right, let's go into the settings yet again. View your channel settings. Very, very strange. Right, I'm gonna up your permission. Hang on. Bloody hell. Right, just got to put in a code. I'm upping your permission to see if that makes a difference. Yes, it's me. That one. I don't know if you're on the broadcast, Pony. I'm hoping you are. So it's a lot easier to talk than it is to. Sorry, guys. Want to make sure we've got a broadcaster for the next stint. Right, I don't know what else to do, essentially, other than I can close it down, I suppose, and then reopen it. That's what I'll let me try that one. A kind of last resort. Yeah, basically I've upped it to management status, so please don't delete anything. I'll fuck around with my settings. it's just really to make sure you can get on. Right, shall we have a? Yeah, I've shut it down and restarted it and everything. I've checked all my emails. I've got no notifications. I've put in any codes I need to put in. It's telling me you've got full access. See how it goes on from your position. Right, the gap now for ORT is starting to come down significantly. 12 seconds is the difference between how this stint started and where we are at now, with King's 26, Great British seconds clear. Sharky running in second, starting now to pull away from Clarkey. I wanted Clarkey and Sharky to come home together, right next to each other. Absolutely phenomenal drive from him. We have our first sub 2 minute lap, and it's from the guy who puts the P into pole, and it's district simming. But due to a very, very poor stint one for the Syndicate Racing Team, finding himself down in 10th position. But absolutely redressing this balance as much as he possibly can. Currently running in 10th, fastest lap with a 1:59.9, which he did on lap 28. So flitting around those low 2-minute marks, chasing down Jakey for potentially in the top 9. We talked about Clarkey in 3rd. Brohawk still there in 4th. He's closed that gap on Clarkey a little bit. I wonder if Clarkey's dropped off the pace a little bit. We're about 5 laps away from the next proper window for pitting. Caballero very, 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 very quickly coming up behind the MRL Mustang there, with Ghost 14 seconds back, 0 in the pits. He's got a little bit of damage on the front, but it is a relatively scheduled pit. It was slightly out of sync, but he should be able to run to the end with the tyres that he's got on. He's got a little bit of damage to repair. Of course, he did come out originally in 2nd. He was the Sector 7 driver in that top 3 when this stint started. But a bit of damage early on, and it's given him some work to do. 2 minutes now off the leaders. He was 38 seconds back. I'll tell you what to try, Pony. Try logging in through your phone. I don't know if you're listening. Nick, if you're listening, can you tell him, try logging in through your phone into the YouTube first. Sometimes that makes a difference. When I used to stream off the PlayStation, that's usually kind of jogged it. So if you log in from the phone and then log out and then try and log in through the PlayStation, that might give it the little jog it needs. Have a little looky, see if that works. Otherwise, I don't know what to suggest. Let me try. I'm going to try and get hold of someone else then, aren't I? Let me see. Just going to mute myself for a minute, guys. I'm going to make a quick phone call. Apologies for that. No, I can't draft in who I was hoping to draft in. He's not at home yet. He will be here later, though, for stint number 5. When he does get home, he'll be doing that. All I can say is then, is what we can do. Where's my brother from another mother? Someone give Jaeger a shave. Jaeger can get the lobby up and running and start the broadcast. We'll do the handover. There's been a murder. What do you mean by a murder? Oh, so I've missed a murder on the racetrack. Who's dead? Oh! Wow! That's massive. That is engine damaged a lot. What happened, man? What happened to Sharky? That's huge. How you doing, PT? Yeah, that's a huge blow to him. Was it coming together with another car, or was it a wall that got in the way somewhere? Brohawk running there, so he's Brohawk now obviously up to third. So whatever happened to Sharky, it didn't go well for him. Engine damage, the whole 9 yards. So that 25-second gap to Kings, all the way out. So he's lost almost a minute after that damage, and that's a massive blow to Sector 7 there. So that puts Clarkey back up into second place, and puts the Overboost Racing team back to their 35-second lead. Tonic and Sharky. Let's have a little look at Tonic. Tonic facing the wrong way yet again. Oh, and that was the Moosehead Racing team coming through. Tonic still got some damage. I'm assuming it was in the mountain at some point. I'm sure the replay will. I'll find it on the replay and post it up, shall I? We'll have a little look. Right, so how are we looking for the rest of the circuit? I'm going to find out in a minute if we what's going on broadcast-wise. Yeah, so if Jaeger, essentially, that's what I'll say. So if Jaeger starts the broadcast, because I'm due to host. Yeah, that's the problem, because I'm due to host Lobby 4. I can't broadcast Lobby 3 because I'm supposed to do Lobby 4. So hopefully, touch wood, Jaeger can come in and cover for Lobby 3 then, if Pony can't get those problems sorted out. Right, so it is Super Vedu has dropped down now to 14th. He's got damage on the front of that car. Newton up to 13th. He's been chasing him down this whole race. Up to 13th he is. Sure, there's probably going to be another pit stop for him looking at those tyres. Lap 40 will be their pit window. Of course, it is about lap 40 for those guys. Looking out the front, the window for pitting is coming. Kings is in the lead by 35 seconds. Clarkey back up to second after Sharky had that coming together. Brohawk, it's almost like Brohawk only wants to have a go at Clarkey when Sharky's not around. When it was just these two and Sharky was behind, quite some way behind, Brohawk was all up in Clarkey's business. Then when Sharky got through, your stint will be broadcast. I just don't know how we're going to do it yet, TJ. Worst case scenario, we'll miss the start or whatever, and I'll do it, and then we'll just have to miss the end or something. I don't know. We'll work it out, or someone else can host for me, and we'll come up with a plan, whatever we do. Yeah, because it was supposed to be Jaeger doing stint 4, I think. So yeah, we'll work it out. Yeah, so Brohawk, again, as I was saying, is chasing now down on the back of Clarkey, and potentially now does he see second as a potential option here for Apex Hunter. But again, this just plays into King's hands while they're battling behind. Sharky did all the right things for so long, and then it just went a whole chunk of burning wrong for him. Had come together with Tonic, smashed up the engine and had to do a full-on repair. He's opted to run to the end on medium tyres. Yeah, so all right, so cool. So Jay can do 3, then I'll do 4 while I'm hosting. That's probably the easiest way. Thank you, buddy. I haven't done any. Oh, actually, give me a sec, guys. While I send, I have got some. I made some overlays to add them later. Give me a sec, let me find them. Or did I? I haven't got all of them, but I've got some of them. I think I've got the main race overlay, but I don't think I bothered with the rest of them. Talk amongst yourselves, guys, because you know that I can't multitask. I think it's that one. Right, I've got that one, but it's obviously got Ponyboy's name on it and not yours. I can't change it now. It's a bit late. There we go. Thank you very much, Jaeger. So, change to the lineup for everybody. Sorry about that. Jaeger will be your glorious host, taking over from me at the end of this stint number 3. Ponyboy was unable to, for whatever reason, get in access to the YouTube channel. For whatever reason, I don't know. It's probably PlayStation have fucked something up. That's usually what happens. And yeah. And then I'll be back with you for number 4, which I will also be hosting. I was actually hoping to to have a little munch today, but it's not going to happen. I did definitely need to get something to eat in between, which I will do. Let's do that back to right, cool. Okay, let's get back on track with some racing, because we've got about half hour left, 20 laps remaining. Right, yeah, let's give Simon some love, because Simon was put in almost an impossible position. Yesterday came out all guns blazing, put this Corvette on pole in that really exciting, very, very close Super Pole here yesterday, where the top 6 was separated by just 0.4 of a second. He put the car on pole, and for one reason or another, stint 1 just didn't go well for the team, and they found themselves tanking all the way down through the order. He has worked incredibly hard to bring them back into this, as Kings in the Overboost Racing Team car goes into the pits for the final stop of the race, as does Clarkey and Brohawk. Simon has put in the fastest lap of the race with that 59.9 and absolutely been on top of his game, albeit that he's had to fight his way through the pack. Now, if you consider that Zero up in 7th, 15 seconds up the road, was second, he himself had some damage of his own he had to contend with. For Simon to be that close to a guy that was in the top 3 just shows just how much he has done in this race to get the Syndicate Racing Team back into this. But we've still got plenty of time left. 8.5 hours remain. It happens sometimes, Kaz. It happens sometimes. Once you've had 1 or 2 little issues and you lose confidence, the whole thing just falls apart, doesn't it? Just one of those things. Right, Zero started second, currently running in 7th. He's got a lot of work to do if he wants to catch Ghost up ahead. He is flitting in those 203s, 204s, 202s at the moment. Ghost into the pit, so he should be pretty darn close, because he's had his pit stop. The Ghost has not yet. He's about to come in. Keplero, he needs to come in as well. Is there a potential top 5 on the cards for Zero? There could well be, if he keeps up that pace. Clarkey down in 4th, he's been in. Brohawk battling with him, he's also been in. Sharky back up into 2nd. He's running the mediums. He is going to run to the end, so it could be that damage didn't actually cost him all that much. The only issue is, of course, he's going to have Clarkey and Brohawk chasing him down, and they're going to be on soft compound tyres, whereas Sharky is on those less grippy mediums. So it's what can he do with those medium tyres now in the run-in to the end of this race? King's back out with 33 seconds. So we did have a gap of 38 when stint 2 began for Overboost. Sharky was absolutely chunking into that. Lap by lap by lap, got it down to I think 25 seconds, and then he had to come together with Tonic during what looked like a lap. I didn't see it, but it was a lapping incident somewhere in the mountain. Engine damage ensued. He had to get that car home, get it repaired, and then get back on the racetrack. It hasn't cost him so much as yet. He is, of course, though, on the medium compound tyres, is Sharky. And he's got two very, very quick, very, very capable drivers behind him. Clarkey in that ERA Corvette, and Brohawk in the Apex Hunters Corvette as well. So we know the Corvettes are very, very strong here. Caplero into the pits, 0.50 seconds back. How close is he going to be? He's about halfway down Conrad now. So how is it going to be enough time to catch Caplero in the Moosehead car? He's ahead of Ghost now. Ghost has been in the pits. Simon, damage for Simon. It's right on his pit window. So not going to be as brutal as it could have been. But into the pits he'll come now. He'll repair that damage. He'll get fresh boots on. He'll fill up the fuel he needs and take it to the end. Jakey will regain 8th position. The Furious 2, however, might not move up. It's going to be pretty darn close. The Furious 2 with some great slipstream at the moment, though, behind that MRL McLaren. Tonic getting a blue flags waved in his general direction. He's 51 seconds back. He's got Knudsen, who's now up to 12th, but will be pitting at the end of this lap. Bish is 19 seconds behind. So it's going to be a bit of a chase down for Knudsen to get back up into 12th. Remember, the Black Flag team started in 12th. Kaizan worked his way up to 10th in stint 1, and then there was a mix-up with the handover and dropped all the way down to 14th. So to get back and recover back to 12th would be ideal. Yeah, do you know what? It is tiny little margins. At the moment, though, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few more cars hitting the 159.9. And I'll tell you why that is. Look at the wind pushing cars down that Conrod straight. Very distinct possibility that we are going to see certainly the quicker cars doing the 59. Simmons already got a 159.9 himself. I hear someone in the background. I'm assuming someone is jumping into the...
Hey.
I thought I was hearing voices. I was like, okay, well, schizophrenia's playing up.
No,
if you slowly whispered, like, they must all die, you probably would have sent me into a home or a frenzy.
So okay, I'm setting up my partner. Just one question: which stream key should I use?
Ah, shit! Yes, I could probably do that. I didn't set one up for that one because we didn't need it. All right, let me use the same stream key you used before. I will just amend that now. Right. Look at this. Look, doing admin, race broadcasting. That's a schedule.
Multitasking, crazy stuff.
Yeah, multitasking. Done this before. So reuse those settings. Change that to. Oh, wrong keyboard. I need to change that as well. Change 4. No, 3. Redirect. Step 4. Just going to double check, but it should be 21HY. Was that what it was before? The last 4.
The last 4, 21HY.
Yeah, use that one.
Yeah, all right. Cool.
Boom Shankar, we're back up and running. These things happen in the world of live broadcasting. Well, they happen to us. They don't happen to anyone else. You don't see Crofty having this problem. Right, so let's have a full rundown. We haven't had one of those for a bit. Okay, so we talked about King's and the job that he was doing for Overboost out in the lead, and how the gap had come back to 35 seconds. Sharky has dusted himself off after that coming together, that engine damage, and he's taken the gap back down to 27 seconds. He is on a massive charge. That wind at the moment is very favourable to the cars going down Conrod, so I imagine we'll see another 59 or two in the next few laps. There is Sharky running there in second, 3.7 seconds back to Clarkey. Sharky and Clarkey. 3 seconds to Brohawk, also in that Corvette for Apex Hunter. It's a big gap now, 41 seconds back to Caplero in fifth for Moosehead Racing. 22 seconds to Zero, who had a very early brush with the wall and finds himself now in sixth position with some work to do. He's lapping in those mid to high 202s, which is not as quick as Caplero ahead. So Caplero is very much opening that gap up a little bit. Ghost in that 9.11, 4.3 seconds back. Not really catching Zero at the moment. Jakey in 8th. He's got a load of clear air, 18 seconds ahead, 23 seconds behind from the fastest man on the track, Simmon, who was your pole sitter, or the guy that put the car on pole anyway, trying to recover for the Syndicate Racing team after a very poor first stint. 23 seconds is the gap he's trying to make up on Jakey ahead. The Furious 2, there's only one of them, of course, in the sexy Rexy 911, is 3 seconds behind Simmons, but I can't imagine with the pace Simmons got at the moment he's going to catch him, and he's going to have to pit again because he's going to run out of fuel, which will put him a lot closer to Tonic, who's currently 50 seconds back. 29 seconds behind Tonic, that's Bish in the MRL Mustang, 13 seconds clear of Newton. Now he's currently lapping in those high 203s, low 204s. Newton is firmly in the well, he's actually done I think that last lap was a 2:01.4, so actually phenomenal times. He's starting now to ramp it up and try and repair the damage of the very poor handover. So yeah, he's got 13 seconds to try and find in the next about 16 laps. If he can find the second lap, which he seems to be doing at the moment, he could get Black Flag back up into 12th position, which is where they started this race today. Super Vedo 39 seconds back, currently getting a little bit of slipstream help from the Apex Hunter car with DJ Brohawk in it. There he is there. No real battles on the racetrack at the moment. No one's really close enough to put any challenges in. We've got that kind of spread that happens. It usually doesn't happen until to the midway point, but it's already starting to rear its head. Now there's a couple of ways that's going to change. With the handover, we'll see maybe one or two errors. There may be a crash here or there somewhere. There may be any other number of things that could happen over the next 15 laps that can change things. At the moment though, I think that the big talking point here is how close can Sharky get to Kings. Sharky hasn't gone slower than a 2:01.6 in the last 8 laps, and majority of the time he's in the low 2:01s. Been very racy. Kings hasn't dipped below 2:02 for a long time, certainly longer back than we can see on screen. Helps if I can see also. Lucas is back, and this time he gets to see if his PlayStation will let him stay in the lobby this time. That would be good. But looking at Kings at the moment, and the drive that the Overboost team have done, it's been absolutely phenomenal. That not a mistake was made in that first stint, and held on, and when the position came back, I was offered, it was taken, and it was kept. And Kings has done a good job of consolidating that. There's not a lot you can do when the guy chasing you down is putting in lap times like Sharky. Currently running in second. He's 3.5 ahead of Clark. And you would expect to see an Australian driver do well here. Bearing in mind, it's like it's like fish and chips for the Brits, efficiency for the Germans, chocolate for the Belgians. Bathurst is like a religion to the Aussies. Bathurst, barbecues, and flip-flops. No stereotyping at all from me. 3.3 seconds that gap to Clarkey. We're seeing a good drive from Clarkey, and he's done a really good job of hanging on. You've got to bear in mind that Nick had that accident in stint 1. It dropped him way down the field and gave him an awful lot of work to do to build back up into that top 3. And Clarkey's done absolutely everything asked of him to keep them in the mix. They're still within. You've got to bear in mind that Kings was in the lead of this race by 38 seconds. The gap now between Clarkey in third and Kings is 28 seconds. So he's taken 10 seconds out of the leader. Sharky's taken significantly more than that, 13 seconds out of the leader. Brohawk as well has taken 5 seconds out of the leaders. So they are starting just to edge back towards them and pull away. Actually, I say pull away from Capilero. They haven't really done that. The gap has stayed in and around that 44-45 second mark pretty much throughout this race. Capilero had a little bit of time when he was fighting with Ghost, but it didn't last very long, and the Italian driver from Moosehead Racing has done a fantastic job keeping that car in that top 5. He does have Zero chasing him down, but Zero I don't think is finding the pace to close those 20 seconds anytime soon. Aussie, oi, oi, oi. Yeah, the Aussie's doing well here. Doing well at the moment. There's Ghost 3.2 behind Zero. Not quite got the pace of Zero. Not much difference. But we know the 911 struggles a little bit on Conrad. Just doesn't have the top end of the other cars out there. 14.3 seconds to Jakey. Furious 2, that's his final pit stop. In the other 911, he comes back out where? In 10th position, 54 seconds ahead of Tonic, by the looks of things. Yeah, it's 54 seconds ahead of Tonic in 10th position. So Simmons still running in 9th, 22 seconds behind Jakey. Still has that fastest lap, that 1:59.9. Certainly capable of putting another one in if the opportunity presents itself. And I will not be surprised if he does chuck another 59 in between now and the end of the race. But he's not significantly faster than Jakey to catch him in any significant way. He'll take a few seconds out of him in this run into stint number 3, but I can't see where Simmons going to be able to catch him. Jakey's doing a fabulous job in 8th position in that Lexus, which is ironically is coming up behind another Lexus driven by a Newton there in 13th. Now he's closed that gap to Bish to 6.2 seconds. He is taking time out of him very, very quickly. So that is going to be game on very soon. Push for 12th. Is 11th potentially on the cards? Not on this stint, it's not. Tonic there in 11th is 27 seconds ahead of Bish. So unless something happens to Tonic, similar to what happened to when he came coming together with Sharky, then nothing's going to happen there. And he's on a bit of no man's land, really, 25 seconds behind the Furious 2. Super Video still hanging on for MRL, 49 seconds now adrift in 14th position. But listen, there's plenty that can go wrong for people between now and the end of this race, which will be at about 10 o'clock tonight UK time. 23 seconds now is the gap between Sharky and Kings. Although Clarkey now is starting just to close the gap on Sharky. You can see, well, you won't see it from the mountain because there you go, just in the distance there as we do the trademark Jaeger over the rear wing shot. You can see there just as they undulate and weave their way through the mountain down to Forest Elbow very, very quickly. You can see in the background there, that is Clarkey, who looks to be ramping up the pace a little bit to try and close the gap on Sharky, and certainly to try and keep away from Brohawk, who is 6.6 seconds ahead of him as it stands. Heading down towards the chase, this is lap 49 of 60. Ignore the 61 up there, that is for administrative purposes only. This is we're firmly into hour number 4 of the 12 hours of Bathurst here with the GTEC 2024. We've got Jaeger coming up soon with all interaction from stint 3, and then I'll be back for stint 4. So you basically have an hour where you don't hear me talk, or an hour and a bit where you don't hear me talk, which I'm sure is going to be an absolute godsend for you. Don't forget to click that like button and the share button, and if you haven't already, click subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell, otherwise you won't know when we're coming. Well, you might do, but you might not. You will have to manually pick stint 3 from the YouTube channel. I haven't managed to link these two together to take you across automatically yet, because it was a different plan on the horizon an hour ago. Right, Clarkey there is starting to find some pace. He just on lap 48 did his fastest lap of the race with a 2:08. So ramping it up now. He can see the back of Sharky's car, and he's trying to close in as that noise in the background was Jaeger falling off of his chair. Even
that was my keyboard.
I was going to say he was throwing a beer can at a stray dog, but it was his keyboard falling on the floor, which I do quite a lot. 6.5 seconds to Brohawk. Brohawk has essentially sat outside that top 3 this entire race. He had a few little moments with Clarkey putting some pressure on, but he's done a really, really solid job for Apex Hunters there, just keeping him in that mix, keeping him in touching distance of the top 3, and closing as well to Overboost in the lead, which is paramount importance at these early stages. Don't count this Moosehead Racing team out from a potential move further up the top 5. They've been very, very solid. It's been quite quiet for Caponero for a while now. Not really had much to worry about other than keeping it out of the sand, keeping it out of the walls, just getting it through the mountain nice and safely. 17 seconds back. He's catching him, but not at a quick enough rate. He's got some damage on the front there, Caponero, which he needs to make a decision whether he repairs that. He'll probably choose to stay out, bearing in mind there's only 10 laps remaining, and Zero will definitely take 5th place. I think this is one of those ones where you say, okay, look, if I stay out, I might hold on to 5th. I might not, but I might hold on to 5th. If I go in, I definitely won't hold on to 5th. So, track position is key in this particular scenario, and you can keep your car ahead for your teammate on the next stint. Zero with his fastest lap of the race so far on lap 49, that previous lap. That was a 2:01.3. There's a couple of seconds down here, so not quite found the pace this time out. 3.0 to the Ghost. That's come down a little bit, but that'll be because Zero lost a couple of seconds on that previous lap. Get out and stay out. Yeah, Chris, that's exactly what happened. He threw a beer can at a stray dog that came through the window. Because that's what dogs do, they climb through your window. 11 seconds from the Ghost to Jakey. Jakey looking pretty racy in terms of pace, taking some chunks out of the Ghost. He's certainly going to have that Race Asylum Lexus in a good position for the handover. I haven't set up my handover, have I? I should probably do that in a minute. Yeah, I'll do that in a minute. There we go. Right, Distinct Simmon. He's been the one to watch all day in terms of pace. He's been incredibly quick. And it's just been a pleasure to watch him diving around the racetrack. 1:59.9. I still think he's going to put in a faster lap than that between now and the end of the race. Can't be certain of that, of course, because you never know. But it certainly could happen. Furious 2, that is a very, very big gap either side. It's going to be a nice, comfortable top 10 finish for Sexy Rexy at the end of this stint, unless something very, very dramatic happens over the next 10 laps. At the moment, Furious 2 looking very, very solid for that top 10. Tonic, who had the coming together with Sharky, running in 11th, 27 seconds. Again, similar position to Furious 2. Neither being caught nor catching. Newton in 12th. He has got past Bish and he's opening up that gap. He's taking some time out of Tonic ahead, but there's just not enough laps remaining for him to be able to catch him. But it will put his teammate into a really good position. I think that's TJ coming in to run stint numero 3. Bish there in 13th, and Super Venu holding on 50 seconds back in 14th position. Let's do an onboard with your current leader, who's he's 20 seconds clear of the pack. Very good drive from Kings. He's done what the expectation was, that he stayed in the lead for his teammates. No more, no less than that. And that's exactly what he's done. He's not been able to open up the gap, but in the face of the drivers chasing him down, the likes of Sharky and Clarky and Brohawk, to be ahead still, and let's be fair, he has led this race from start to finish. This stint he has led from start to finish without any real changes to the lead, other than anything that happened during the pit stops very briefly. I'm trying to do two things at once here at the moment. It's not going all that well. That one there, I'm trying to juggle some stuff around for the handover, which I wasn't going to do previously because I couldn't have done, but I can now. Why is that not... Talk amongst yourselves while I fix this problem. Another issue to solve. We're watching Kings at the moment, 18 seconds clear of Sharky. Sharky really is taking some chunks out of Overboost in these last few laps. Really putting some pressure on. What have I done? I've broken something. I fixed it. Whatever I broke, I just fixed. Congratulate me on my brilliance. Have you not done it yet? Do it immediately.
All hail to the master of fixing stuff.
Thank you very much. I wouldn't say I'm the master of... Jack of all trades, master of absolutely none would be a more accurate description. I've already noticed a little problem with our new overlay as well, which is really bugging the shit out of me.
Basically doing the same here, but off stream at the moment, like ruining your graphics with putting some stupid overlays to cover that
Yes,
graphics issue we have. Okay. You will hate me for that, trust me.
That'd be fine. It'll be fine. We've managed to flag it quite well, I think, considering it was a very late call of, please look at the Discord, Pony can't do it.
Yep.
Right, so Sharky's catching Kings. That 38-second gap is 17 or 18 seconds now. So despite the fact that Sharky has smashed the car, had engine damage, repaired that engine damage, and of course worked his way up from 5th to 2nd twice, he still managed to take 20 seconds out of Kings. Now, had he not had that engine damage, he would be in the lead of the race right now. That would be Sector 7 leading the race. So Kings doing the job asked of him, which is stay out in front, but benefiting from a lot of luck, and is 5 laps away from making it 2 stints in a row for ORT with no crashy. Clarkey, has he resigned himself to staying those 3 seconds behind Sharky, because he's putting in good lap times, but he's not closing with any significance. Maybe he's just, I think 3rd is, considering what happened to Nick in stint 1, I think 3rd is a brilliant position to be in all fairness. And he's consolidated that quite well. He had some battles with Brohawk going on for some time, but he's managed to weather that storm and get that job done and keep Brohawk at bay in 4th. Brohawk, of course, himself has clung on for dear life with those incredibly quick drivers out in front. It'll be interesting to see who's coming in, and we'll find out very soon who's coming in for these guys in stint number 3. And then
I can give you a little tease if you want.
Let's have a little tease. Who's coming in for Kings? I know Lucas is coming in. Ooh. Is Slipstream coming in for Sharky?
Don't think so.
Who's coming in for Sharky?
We are checking. Is it Ando? I don't.
I think Ando's in. Yeah. Well, hang on. Which one's the number 2? Oh, yeah. It will be, because it's a number 2 car. I keep forgetting they swap places, didn't they? Yeah. So that'd be Ando. In for Clarkey.
Will be Gecko Racer.
Okay then. So basically, Ando and the Overboost boys better be very afraid, because it's Gecko's coming. Who we got in for Brohawk? Is that James?
No, it is Bob's your uncle.
Bob is not my uncle, but if he wants to marry my aunt, he's quite welcome to become him. Capilero for Moosehead is running 5th, 55 seconds off that top 4. Who's he being replaced by?
The race is just starting here, so I don't have a clue at the moment.
Okay. We'll find out when I get into the pits. The Ghost.
Exactly.
The Ghost 4 is running 6th. It's been very steady for Vortex, with 6th and 6th, and we'll see at the end of stint, of your stint, if they can close that 20-second gap to Moosehead ahead. Zero has really closed in on Ghost, actually, which might be a little bit worrying from this perspective.
So I have the driver for Moosehead. That's TS Bab, or it is reversed for Papst. I figured out. So it's Papst for me, because it is a German living in Canada. And so he switched up his name.
Okay.
So, all right. Got that.
I always thought it sounded like, like on the drums.
yeah, exactly. You cannot pronounce that.
And in for Ghost, who's coming in for Vortex?
You pay.
Oh, you pay. You pay's always a very solid driver. In for Zero, is that Monkey coming back in?
No. Can't confirm. Yeah, can confirm.
It's Monkey.
Monkey, yeah, it is the Monkey.
Oh, well, here's the key. Do we have the Monkey that was putting in crazy quick laps, or the Monkey that was putting in crazy crash laps? We need the one that's doing the quick laps to rescue this a little bit. Although, looking at the pace at the moment, Zero is being caught by Jakey, who is currently in 8th position. Who's coming in for Race Asylum in the Lexus one?
That's Lucas again. So hopefully, his
of course,
connection
Lucas coming back in there.
will hold up this time.
Who's coming in for Syndicate?
That's Identity. And some Identity.
That's what I want. I want his identity.
Yeah.
So he's 14.5 seconds behind Jakey. He's been super quick all day as Simon. Probably gonna just. I was going to say driver of the day. I think Sharky for me just edges it purely for the fact that he managed to get engine damage, repair the car, come back out, and still closing on Overboost out in the lead. So that's the only reason that Sim is not getting my driver of the stint. But he's been really quick.
But your favorite Welsh pirate will be in this lobby for me. Khazar will be in.
Khazar! Love it. Which car's he in? He's in the
Race Asylum McLaren.
Race Asylum McLaren, which is
For
that
Tonic,
one.
I think.
Yeah. There is Tonic. There he is. Who's in Rexy?
That'll be Mr. Bite the Roses.
Good old Roses. Gotta love him. I know who's in for Black Flag. That'll be TJ.
Yep.
He's in, and that's a good recovery from Newton there to get back up to 12th after the shenanigans of stint 1. Who's in for Bish in the McLaren, the MRL McLaren?
Now they are pitting at this moment. I don't know. It's either Daz, Mad Daz,
Mad
or
Daz.
Gelf. No, it is Gelf being in that McLaren.
Ooh, interesting. And last but by no means least, who's in for Super Video in the other McLaren?
That's Mad Daz.
That's Mad Daz in the McLaren. So who's in the Mustang?
The Mustang, yeah, exactly. Gelf in the McLaren and
Gelf in the
Daz
McLaren and Daz in the
Mustang.
Right. Cool.
All right.
Coolio. So we are very close to handover. 56 of 60 laps. And we'll start to see, that's certainly for the case for Bish. It's 58 if you're overboost and in the lead of this race, which is currently 18 seconds. 20 seconds been taken out of ORT over this last 2 hour stint. Fuel looking a bit ropey, but it always does at this stage. It should last out without too much of a problem. Sharky's got the red light flashing as well, but he of course is also on the penultimate lap. 3.2 ahead of Clarkey. They're all flashing red. I'm just trying to look at, there's some damage there for Caplero. He is 19 seconds clear of Ghost and should hold on. There shouldn't be too much of an issue for him, but you never know. There's always that worry that you get caught and you're in trouble. But it looks to me that he's going to hold on. Seems to be far enough clear at this stage. The Ghost has got a little bit more fuel to play with than anyone around him, actually. So it's not necessarily all over, because that gap's now gone right down to 7.6 between Ghost and Jakey. But Ghost can push that little bit harder. He's got a little bit more fuel in the tank to help him along the way. Simin, he's still not flashing red, so there's still another potential 159. I've been begging for him to do another one, and the wind is more than favourable to doing that at the moment. He's not too far behind another car, although it is a back marker, so hopefully we'll get another 159. We've only got 2 laps to find out anyway. Then it's 0, then it's Furious 2, Tonic, Newton, Bush, and Super Vinu, who is just about to start lap 57. So we're on with Kings. He's on his penultimate lap, lap 59 of 61. About to hit the Conrod straight for the second to last time. Ost, jump the name for the next slot, Race Asylum Team number 1 driver. Did we? I don't think we did.
Gecko?
Yeah, we did Gecko. We had a whole conversation about how Gecko was going to chase them down.
Exactly how everyone should be afraid. Yeah.
And that means, Ost, you weren't listening. Because you weren't listening, you've been a very naughty boy. Go and stand in the corner. I'll have Ray whip you until you apologise. So, Sharky, has he... It looks to me that he's given up that that mad push now, and he's just bringing the car home. The fuel is low. So the what happened to 0? We're very early on, Stephen. I thought it was someone else asking a question. I thought you'd been in the lobby. How the fuck do you know? He had it coming together very early on. He just juiced his car to the wall. Picked up some damage from second and has been trying to fight his way in. Ost, you were asking about the Race Asylum team, not the ERA team. Yeah, I can't remember if we did that.
Surely we did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
I don't know. So we have Keza and we have Lucas.
Yeah, we talked about both of them. So yes, Lucas,
decide which team. Decide which team you want.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, because we made the joke about being a pirate, because and yeah, Lucas, the floggings will continue until morale improves. Absolutely, Chris. The floggings will continue until morale improves. When you're smiling and happy and apologetic, then the floggings will stop. They jumped our team. I'm not jumping the whole team. I haven't got the energy for it anymore. Clarkey holding on for third. It doesn't look like Brohawk's actually dropping off the pace a little bit for Apex Hunters, but a minute clear now for the top 4 in a very comfortable position. Caplero for Moosehead Racing is a minute and a half behind the race leader. So a nice big gap for the front runners. So Kings is coming down to the end of Conrad now into the chase, into this hotel complex, and he will pull up into his pit box very soon. And then we'll be away, of course. And I'm going to go back to full screen like that, so your handover looks better. There you go.
Yeah, that's something we need to sort out. Who's doing the handover?
Yeah. I suppose I could have 2 screens, one for the out, one for the in. I'll work on it. Right, Sharky into the pits. He's ready to go now. Just wait for him to hit his pit box.
Exactly. And ORT is off, out of the box. Valsalenta.
We've got Clarkey coming in. We've got Brohawk coming in. Not much separating those two. So that's going to be an interesting battle potentially on the cards for you.
Yeah, so will be the next one. Endo on track and Gecko right behind for this one. Who's running P4 at the moment? That's Bob. Bob is not your uncle, but Bob's your uncle is still on track. So
that's going to be an interesting battle for second there. If that guy, and the thing is, that could play quite well into Overboost's hands, because if those guys are fighting for second behind, they can open up that gap out in the lead and try and get it back to that 38-40 second lead they had at the end of stint number 1.
Maybe.
So Caplero finally in to the pits, 1 minute behind Brohawk. Next will be Ghost, who's just heading down now into this hotel complex. A couple more corners left in that 911 for him. And down he goes under the Armorall sign, over to that left-hand side, and into the pits for Vortex. Jakey not far behind at all, just 4.8 seconds. He's in now as well, as the car just disappears from my very eyes. Simin finished 8th in the end, which was pretty damn good considering. Got ahead of Zero, who has got more damage, not had a great day. It's not been great actually for that number 2 Sector 7 team, because they've been really, really quick, but for some reason not been able to keep it out of the walls. The Furious 2 is a minute behind Zero. Still some way to go. He's not even on Conrod as yet. But he's behind.
Why is TJ already on track?
He shouldn't be.
This is a bit early. He is. But they...
Because Newton... Okay. Oh, Newton's in. Why is Newton in? Oh, no, he's on lap 6. What's going on here? There's something odd going on. Newton's in, and it says lap 60.
Okay, maybe. Something happened.
Yeah, it looks like
but
it.
Yeah.
So the Furious 2... yeah, something odd going on there, because he's on the correct lap, and he's in. I have a feeling Newton's coming a lap. It looked like Newton's coming a lap early. So we had the first driver coming a lap late. Yeah, it looks like he's coming a lap early, because it should have changed to 61 when he went in.
To the pits, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
So Tonic in 11th, he'll be coming in. So that's I don't know what's coming on. So yeah, Kazar will be coming out next. So Tonic in. Bish about 40 seconds back in the Mustang. He's just got the Conrod to go.
Come on. Do the swap. Come on. You can do it. Team, work. Faster. Roses is out on track. So Rexy is ahead of Razorsaler. Alright. Yeah, exactly. +1, -1, all evens out in the end. Well, that's smart thinking.
Yeah. Well, the thing is,
yeah.
Are the stewards going to be happy with that though? Because yeah. I see what they've done. they've gone. Oh, we accidentally did one more last time. And we did one less this time. But
yep.
Yeah. So Super Vedu is just coming round. He's got some time to go. Yeah, it's going to be. Yeah, it's very confusing. Essentially, anyone in chat wondering what Black Flag are doing, they're trying to offset the fact they did an extra lap on stint 1. But I'm not sure they've done it with any sort. I don't know that they may have spoken to somebody and they said just do this on the next.
Yeah, probably.
We're not generally privy to any information. We're basically like mushrooms. We're kept in the dark and covered in shit.
Just.
And in comes Super Vedu, and
so
that means I'm
driver, then.
Done. I'm finished, but I'll be back in. Yeah, not long. Fair enough.
Very soon, yeah.
Yeah, pretty damn soon. I'm going to hand you over now. Thank you very much for joining me. I'll hand you over to the beautiful Jaeger. I'll catch up with you soon, man.
All right, here we go then. Let's get back onto the full screen with Gelf being the last driver to do the handover completed. So we have all 4.